Hi there everybody, my name is Bohush, speaking for Videoblocks. I'm here to show you how simple it is to find amazing content on Videoblocks.com. Then we're going to walk through getting Videoblocks media into Premiere Pro so you can easily add lots of production value and professionalism to your next video project. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now here's what the Videoblocks website looks like. The interface is actually a powerful search engine and media browser. Let's log in. Now that we've logged in, we can start searching and previewing media. You can use the search tool right up here, or by hitting the browse button, you can kind of see what's new and what's exciting and check out categories. And this is a nice way to get started if you've never looked at Videoblocks before. Now there's a lot of royalty-free content here, and your subscription gives you access to all of it. There are no hidden fees later on. And what else is cool is that you can access your account from wherever you are. So you don't have to carry around bulky media, nor do you have to pay for clips, like in a DVD collection, that you won't ultimately use. You just download what you need and you can use it any way you want. Your Videoblocks subscription unlocks unlimited access to everything you find on the site. We'll search for some of the same clips that I used for this little project I made just using downloaded assets from Videoblocks. Okay, ha ha ha. So that's our little joke clip. Let's see what we've got in here. Looks like we have kind of a newsroom set. We've got an animated graphic. The title came from the editing program. Then we have some sort of flare wipe. We have slow motion footage of the TV falling and a lower third. And then a title again from our nonlinear editor. So we've got a couple clips to find. Let's get started by finding this virtual newsroom set. Fortunately, searching through all this content is really easy. Every page on Videoblocks.com has the search tool right here in the upper right. So we just enter in, let's say, newsroom. And notice there's a pull down where we can choose either search absolutely everything on the site or just video, just audio. So let's stick with just video and hit that little magnifying glass. And here are the newsroom files. Now what's cool is that this page is actually a media browser. So to get a preview of the clip, just hover your mouse over it and a little window will open up and actually show you an animated preview. And this is a great way to look through stuff very, very quickly. Okay, it looks like, yeah, this is the one we used. So let's just left click on it to get more details and to actually download. So here's what it looks like. You get a preview again that you can play back. Scrub through if you need to see something specific. You also get some details and even Facebook stuff if you want to like it on Facebook or comment on it. This is very useful as the site grows. You're going to get peer reviews of each of these clips. So the red button is how you download, and that's all you have to do is just click on it and you're downloading. Note underneath it, you can see the actual specs of the clip. Now this is in HD. It's at 1920 by 1080. It's 29.97 frames per second. It's in QuickTime format, .mov format. And all you have to do to download it is just click download. And I'll put it in a folder on my desktop, which I've entitled Videoblocks Downloads. So while that's downloading, let's look for the next footage that we need for our little demo clip, which was the dropping slow motion television set. Now we can search for it using the search tool at the top of the page. But if you look at the left, there's this column of categories, and that's another way you can search. You can actually see a wider selection of similarly themed footage all at the same time. Let's take a look at the categories. We see there's a slow motion category. If we click on it, we see that breaking and smashing is one of the categories. Let's click on that and take a look. Aha. Okay, lots of stuff here. And as we scroll down, we can see there's a slow motion old TV, a little different television being done in by a sledgehammer. Let's look at this clip right here. That's a different model of TV. Works well though. Let's see. There it is. Slow motion dropping and breaking. Front view. This is exactly the one we used. So let's click on this and take a look. Here's the page for this video clip. It gives you all the details we got before. But notice one important difference. This is available to download in two different formats. You can download it in MP4, or you can download it in MOV. Now the image size is the same. They're both full HD 1920 by 1080 video clips. The difference really is the file size. The MP4 is slightly more compressed, and so it gets you a file size of only 28 megs, whereas the full MOV is 236 megs. So actually there's a big difference between those two. Visually, the MP4 is more compressed, so it's really more designed for work that's going to go out on the web, or maybe you need to download a lot of clips so you can kind of experiment and preview. MP4 is great for that. If you're doing something a little more high profile, a little more high end, and you need the photo JPEG codec, well, the .mov is there as well. Just be prepared to wait a little longer to download it, and of course you'll need a little extra space. Also, not all nonlinear editors play nice with MP4 or MOV. You'll just need to choose the format that's right for you. For our purposes, the MP4 is just great. So we're going to download it, and I want you to remember that it is full HD 1920 by 1080. That's important to keep in mind if you're working at a different project size. We'll have an example of this a little bit later. So let's just click to download. While that's loading, it's time to go looking for sound and some music. Now, we can use the search tool. We can use audio has its own category browser. Let's just see what we get if we put in news. And we'll search just audio and click the magnifying glass. News. And hover. And again, you get those great little previews. Oh, okay, that sounds so newsy. So let's click on that. That's the one we're going to use. Here's the page with more details about the audio clip we were just previewing. You can hear it again if you need to. And you're presented with two choices for downloading. You can download an MP3 or you can download a WAV file. Now, it's the same caveat as before. The MP3 is compressed to give you a tiny file size, while the WAV is the full uncompressed audio clip. In my work, usually I'll use the MP3 if I'm previewing stuff, especially for a client, and then I'll go back and grab the WAV because they're not that huge. You know, they're not going to eat up your life through all this downloading. For right now, let's just grab the MP3, and we'll download it to my machine. Okay, I've got everything downloaded that I need for my project. You'll notice I found a couple more clips, you know, the graphics and things like that we're going to need. And it's all ready. It's all on my hard drive. So now let's fire up Premiere Pro and get this footage into my editing program. Okay, so here we are in Premiere, ready to start a fresh project. So let's go with a new project like so. It's going to ask where to save stuff. Click OK. Now here's the screen where we choose our project size, our final output size. I'm going to choose 720p, and I'm using the digital SLR codec. I shoot with a DSLR, so I kind of like this codec. You know, your choice is, you know, up to you. Your favorite is your favorite. Really, I just want you to remember the image size, 720p. That's the size of the project we're going to be outputting. Now let's click OK. Now here's the empty project in Premiere. Now you may be using a different version. This is CS6, but they mostly operate the same. We really just care about the project window right now to import all of the Videoblocks content that we downloaded. You can do it in a bunch of different ways. You can go File, Import, and you can just, you know, click whichever file you want, or you can shift click to pick a bunch. Or don't forget, you can also just click the folder and say import folder down here at the bottom. That will just take everything wholesale. I kind of like the lazy man's approach. And if you just grab your File Explorer, you've probably had it open while you're waiting for stuff to download. You can just select stuff and just drag it right into the project window in Premiere. And as you can see, it seamlessly imported all of the different content from Videoblocks, and it had no problems with any of the file formats or any of that. So there's not really time in this video to go into the real nitty-gritty of how I created that little humorous video clip. That'll have to wait for another time. However, I do want to address a question that comes up a lot. It's the image size question. What is the difference between 1080 and 720? Remember that everything we downloaded is at full HD, 1920 by 1080. But this project is at 720, which is 1280 pixels across by 720 pixels high. So what happens is you'll drag a clip into the timeline, and you'll get this requester. This clip does not match the sequence's settings. Shall I change the sequence to match the clip's settings? That's asking, hey, maybe you got it wrong. Do you want me to make the project a 1080 project? In my case, I do not. So I'm going to say no, keep the existing settings. But now look at the result in our program screen. We're zoomed in. And that's because we're think of it as if we're looking out a 720 window onto 1080 footage, right? The 1080 footage is just larger than our Windows view. So what you do, it's really simple, just click on the clip, and in the effects controls, just twirl down motion and scale the image down. And you see, you get a border if you go down too far. It's about 30%. So if you put in 70, you'll be just fine. But that also means that if you want to recompose, you can leave it at 80 and, move it wherever you want. Maybe you want it looking like that, or maybe you want the guy to be a little de-emphasized toward the left there. You get a lot of flexibility this way. Just remember, when you're downloading content from Videoblocks, keep a mental note of that video size, the HD size that you're downloading. If there's a mismatch between it and your nonlinear editor, it's a fairly easy thing to fix later, but just remember you're going to have to go and do something about it. Thanks to a transitional effect I downloaded from Videoblocks, well, we're done. It's all edited magic style. In a future video, we might take a look at how we created some of these effects and how we kind of put this project together. But for now, what's important to remember from this video is how easy and, kind of fun it is to browse on videoblocks.com using the built-in media browser. You also learned about the choices that you have as far as file formats when you're downloading. Your guidelines are, what does your nonlinear editor want? What formats is it compatible with? And also, what's your final project going to be? Really, in the case of Premiere, it's pretty easy. It just takes anything you throw at it, and all we had to do is resize some of the elements to fit our 720p project. All you have to do now is export this file, and you're pretty much ready to go, and it's thanks to all that media that we got from Videoblocks. Now that you've seen how easy it is to get Videoblocks footage and music into your project, here's the fun part. Just keep exploring the vast collections at videoblocks.com. You can find the perfect piece to finish a project you're working on now, or get inspired when you're starting something new. Try searching for macro, slow motion, or time-lapse next time you're looking for something really unique to add to your next video masterpiece. And also, don't forget to check out content.videoblocks.com for more ideas on how to get creative with Videoblocks. My name is Bahush. Thanks for watching.